Welcome to another episode of Tips from the Swamp by Absolute Control Irrigation Specialists. Today we're going to be dealing with the standalone programming of the MSC controller so that it can be used as an independent clock without having to have communication with the central. When you first turn it on, it should come up and go to a time and day. If it does not and it goes to breaker trip, what you need to do is go to the output board and put a jumper wire from the sensor 4 terminal to the common. That will correct that problem. Now when you turn it on, it will come up to the correct time and day. And the first step is to set it to the right day of the week and the right time. To do that, we use the down arrow button and we push it until we get to the spot that says set clock. You'll notice that right now it says Thursday at 12:03. And if that's not the correct time you want to change it, you can change the day by using the arrow key. We'll change that to Friday. You can change the time by pushing the up or down arrow keys. And if we want this to be at 2 o'clock, we use military time and we go to 14. And if we want to go 15 minutes after the hour, we use the up arrow key till we get to the 15. Now, to set this in place, we press the down arrow button until it snaps back up to the top and now shows us the correct time and day. For programming, you have 4 different programs or schedules you can work with so that you can separate areas out so that they water at different times and different durations and different days if you choose to. For this particular example, we're going to set up the first 4 stations as if they were the green on a golf course, and we're going to set them up to water for 10 minutes on each zone. So I push the button until it comes down to station run times. And in the display, it reads A, SEQ, which is for sequential, 1 with no time. I use this up arrow. I increase the time to 5 minutes. You'll also notice that the light for number 1 station comes on, which tells you there's time programmed for number 1. Now I will take and press this to number 2, second station. I will set it for 5 minutes. You'll know again the light comes on. You'll notice it says sequential. Now we'll go to station 3. We'll set that for 5 minutes. Now we'll go to station 4. Set that for 5 minutes. And you'll notice that this is schedule A, set per sequence, and stations 1 through 4 are set, and that is for schedule A. Now, if we want to handle another part of the golf course, such as the tees, and we only want them to water for 3 minutes, what we do is we go and switch to Program B. We want to go to station 5, because that is one of our T zones. Press this to give it 3 minutes. You'll notice the 5 lights up. We'll do number 6 as a T also. And number 7. And again, that's in sequence B, which is program B. Now, to get into the fairways, we'll run that in program C. So we press schedule again. You'll notice that 1 has nothing. So now we go to station 8. We put time on station 8. We go to station 9 and we'll put time on station 9. As you can see, the numbers increase. Number 10, and we'll set that up for fairway also, and number 11 will run as fairway. I have also available a Schedule D and a manual schedule, but if we go back to this, that's Schedule A, or that's the A program, sequence setup, zones 1 through 4, they're all timed, and what will happen when that zone turns on, it will water. It will then go off, and the sequence to the next one, water, go off, sequence to the third one, water, go off, and on through number 4. Now, if you were to change that from sequence and press this simultaneous button, it'll shift it to a simultaneous watering, which means in Program A, it will turn on simultaneously all 4 of those stations. Just remember that anything in Program A is going to try and turn on, and the issue there is this clock will only run 8 zones at a time. So you may have to wait for the first 8 to end before you go to the next 8. But for this purpose, we're going to keep everything in sequence. If we look at Schedule B, we'll notice that that's stations 5, 6, and 7. And Program C, or Schedule C, 8, 9, 10, and 11. Now we'll go back to Program A. Now I need to scroll down to Start Times. And on Program A, we're going to set a start time of 4 o'clock in the morning. Actually, I need to go up. It's faster, sorry. And that's at 4 o'clock in the morning for Program A. Now we'll go to Program B, and that one we want to start at 6 o'clock in the morning. That's our T's. And for our fairways, we go to Program C, and we'll start that at 8 o'clock in the morning. Now with the time set, we have 3 different start times, we have 3 different schedules, so that the clock will water them at independent start times. If you were to duplicate start times in Program A and Program B, what would happen is it would turn on the first zone of each of those programs. So we are keeping separation now. Now our next step is to set the days to water. So we go down to days to water, and we'll notice that we have 7 lights at the top. And in Program A, it says Sunday is an on day. And that, with the lights on, it means everything is an on day. This is our green, so we'll leave that one to water every day. If we go to Schedule B, you'll notice that all days water, but we don't want that. We want to turn Sunday off, so you push the down arrow button. Press the up arrow to go to the next day. We want Monday on. We're going to turn Tuesday off. Wednesday we'll leave on. Thursday we will turn off. Friday we will leave on. And Saturday we'll turn off. So that our T's on Program B are only watering Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. Now we'll go to Program C, which is our fairways. And the changes we'll make here are we want Sunday to be an on day. We want Monday to be off. We want Tuesday to be on. Wednesday to be off. Thursday on. Friday off. And Saturday we will turn off. So now we have 3 different programs set up for varying areas of water. Our next thing we need to do is, again, check our start times C is saying there's one start time, that's with one light lit. D, there's no start times, manual, no starts. A, we have one start time, it's 4 o'clock. And B, we have one start at 6 o'clock. C, one start time, it's at 8 o'clock in the morning. Now that we have this set up, a few other features that you can work with. One is if you're in an area where you have seasonal situations, where you might want to change your watering times by a percentage. If we go to the A schedule, we have the water budget is showing 100%, which means whatever the time was that we had sent for the A schedule, that's what it will water. Now if we go to the B schedule and we change this to 80%, the B schedule will now run for 80% of the scheduled watering time. And C, we can change that, and let's move that up to 125% of the scheduled watering time. So now what will happen is Program A, which is your greens, will water for the scheduled amount. Program B, which are your tees, will water for 80% of what they were set for. And Program C, which are your fairways, will water for 125% of what they were set for. Now we'll go back up and check for time and day. The clock is now set. It'll now operate. It'll do whatever you have scheduled it to do. If you decide that you want to start a schedule manually, go to Schedule Monitor, which is Program A. Press the Start button, and it will turn on the first zone. As you can see on the right of the clock, I have an output board that demonstrates an on station with a light that is lit. If we want to turn that off, we press the cancel button and it would turn off. If we want to start a station, it's in Schedule B or Program B. We set that and press the start button, and that will start that station. If you want to advance to the next station, you just press the Start Advance button. To shut that off, it'll time itself out on what you have programmed, but if you want to shut it off, you hit Cancel, and that will turn it off. The other functions that you need to be aware of are under this designation of Special Function. You'll notice that the first thing it displays is Runtime Log. That's telling you that Station 1, 5, and 6 ran the last time it cycled. If you press the Clear button, it won't clear. To clear this, you need to go in and do a Passcode Unlock. So you go to Passcode, Runtime Log, move that back to Runtime Log, use the up arrow to get to Pass Lock, press the Special Function button, put in a passcode of 5, 3, 8. Press the SPF button. Now we have a pass lock. The IDs are there. And you can scroll through and look at the other information that's there. If you want to know what's in this clock as far as program chips, go to Revision Information, press the FPS button, and it tells you that the faceplate has a version 10 motherboard chip, MLB. The communication board, it has an IF5. That means it's a revision 5. TY1 indicates that this is a 2-wire clock if it were running on central. Okay, now we'll go back to special function again. We have runtime log. If we press SPF, we get runtime log 1. Now we can clear them and go back to runtime logs. If you continue to scroll through here, you'll see an area that says undercurrent log. Make sure that undercurrent log is always off. Overcurrent log or undercurrent log, make sure that is off. Passkey locked, I just explained to you. You would do that same thing to change the satellite ID. Maximum number of stations, in other words, how many stations will you allow this clock to run at one time? Maximum on this particular control unit is 8. The overcurrent log is on, which is okay. Undercurrent you want to keep off. Log was cleared at that particular time. And that gets us back to time of day. I hope this has been of information and use for you. It is the method for programming an MSC controller in standalone mode. This has been the Gator Man with Absolute Control Irrigation Specialists with Tips from the Swamp. For further information and to contact us, go to our website at www.absolute-control.com. Thank you and have a good day now.